Welcome back. Welcome back. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here as always. RadioFire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. So much to get into, so much to talk about. The election, of course, is looming. And I don't have to continue to say that this is the most important election of our lifetime. You've heard me say that many times, and now more than ever, that is true. Of course, tomorrow we're going to have our final presidential debate pre-show. We're going to watch the debate, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. So also during the pre-debate show, I'm going to be joined by Philadelphia recording artist, R&B girls group called Aviance, and we're talking to them tomorrow during the pre-show of that final debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. So I'm sure that some headlines are going to come out of that debacle. Speaking of debacle, the president, more shoes continue to drop with regards to the president, and the secrecy, the lies, whatever Trump says about someone else usually is true about him. And what do I mean? So he was supposed to be some kind of big anti-China, fighter, and that is absolutely not true. President Trump's tax records show a previously unknown bank account in China. And, I'm not surprised by this. Not surprised by this at all. Of course, the MAGA crew is going to say, so what? It's just big deal, right? It doesn't matter what he does. The MAGA crowd is going to go with it. But the analysis of these tax records, which the New York Times got these, shows that the president maintains a bank account in China, Britain, and Ireland that were held under corporate names, right? Corporate names. And according to this New York Times, analysis, the Chinese account is controlled by Trump International Hotels Management, LLC, which the record shows paid more than $180,000 in taxes to China from 2013 to 2015. So, of course, paying more in taxes to China than he actually pays to the country that he's president of. Now, I'm sure that the MAGA crowd is going to say, ooh, he's smart. That's smart business. But this manipulation of the U.S. tax code is not anything to be proud of. When I say manipulation, of course, I'm talking about the $750 that he paid in America. So anyway, the president talked to reporters yesterday before boarding a flight. And, so it is, when you really look at it, the deception, the secrecy that the president operates under, eventually this stuff is going to continue to come out. Eventually he's going to face the music for what he's doing. A lawyer for the Trump organization said that the company opened an account with a Chinese bank following the establishment of an office in China with the intent to explore the potential for hotel deals in Asia. And while no deals, transactions, or other business activities ever materialized, the account has never been used for any purpose. That's what his attorneys are saying. Of course, that's not true. a lot of money was funneled through this account mysteriously right after Trump got into office. I mean, this is an ongoing thing. You're going to continue to see bits of things unravel with regards to the president, and so that's just that's what that is. No surprises there. No surprise there at all. Just tuning in. It's the Diamond K Show, of course, RadioFire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. 40% of Maryland voters have been sent mail-in ballots. 40%. Now, of course, Maryland voter registration is keeping with historic trends, according to the Board of Elections. And what does that mean? There are some new and sharp distinctions between the two major parties, Democrat and Republicans, when it comes to mail-in voting. There are big differences. Of course, the deadline for Maryland voters who wanted a mail-in ballot, that time has passed. You had your chance and you blew it, right? But some folks voting early, as you know, I mean, I think that is a good thing, voting early if you can. Why not? Some people want to vote day of. Why not? I mean, I guess I can think of some reasons why not. But some people are set in their ways. My parents both are seniors, and they voted early. They posted some pictures to Facebook, and they showed them voting early, and I was happy to see that. I thought it was good. My parents are health nuts, right? And in good shape. So anyway, we know election day is Tuesday, November the 3rd, and applications done. You can vote in person. So I'm going to be voting early. I'm going to be voting early. All right, so just to let you know that. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the Pope and news that the Pope is making with regards to things that surprise me with the church. Take a quick break. Let's come back more to the show after this. So we are back here on the Diamond K Show, of course, RadioFire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. I always enjoy talking with people. I am very active on social media at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. And so in my scrolling and checking out of social media, you come across all kinds of things. And one thing that I saw today that surprised me, and that was that Francis becomes the first pope to endorse same-sex civil unions. And I myself believe that anyone that wants to get married should be allowed to get married. But as it relates to Francis, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And many of you know, of course, this is coming from radioonfire.com /news. So Francis becoming the first pope to endorse these same-sex civil unions. And it sparked cheers from gay Catholics and demands for clarification from conservatives given the Vatican's official teaching on this issue. So this is a controversial thing as it relates to the Catholic Church. But the papal thumbs up came midway through the feature-length documentary, and that is called Francesco, which premiered at the Rome Film Festival. And the film featured some new interviews with the Pope, and dived into issues that the Pope cares about most, including poverty, the environment, racial and income inequality, and the people most affected by discrimination. So that was the backdrop for this revelation. And he said that homosexual people have the right to be in a family. They are children of God, Francis said in one of his sit-down interviews in this documentary. You can't kick someone out of a family, nor make their life miserable for this. What we have to do, or what we have to have, is a civil union law. That way, they are legally covered. So, this is going to be something that some of the, old school minded Catholics may not be feeling too much. I definitely like to know people's thoughts on this. My Catholic friends, how are you feeling about this? I think that it's good, but I'm not a Catholic. But I think that it's good. But I want to know what Catholics think. Definitely hit me up on social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Also, DJ Diamond K at gmail.com. So let's do this. Let's take another break. I'm going to come back, and I want to talk about voting down ballot, how important it is to vote down ballot. Of course, we have the presidential election that is going on and a campaign for that. But there are other offices on this ballot which are important. There are other jobs that are up that are important. One of them here in Baltimore is the mayor's race. And while many think that is a foregone conclusion, I do not. It can go a lot of different ways. Well, 3 different ways, right? But it can go some different ways. Just because we think we know the outcome, and you can look at the 2016 race and see that you don't always know the answers. So let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about that very fact right here on the Diamond K Show. Stay tuned.
My name is Shannon Wright, and I'm running for mayor of Baltimore City. COVID has presented many challenges for me to meet with you in your living room, at your kitchen table, or any place else. During the campaign season, you will hear many sound bites from Bob and Brandon. But as your next mayor, I don't do sound bites, I take action. So here is how I will build an inclusive Baltimore for everyone. Baltimore could be that shining city on a hill if we just had the right priorities. Neither Brandon Scott nor Bob Wallace have that. Their claim? We were born here, and so it's our city. And what does a city gain from them being born here? Crime, corruption, failing schools, and trash, hopelessness and despair. This is not about party. It's about all of Baltimore. As your mayor, I will implement an immediate audit of city finances with a firm that has no ties to the city. And then we're going to do a few more things. We're going to put a freeze on non-essential spending. We're going to have a 20% pay cut on city council members and the highest paid city employees, with those savings going to DPW to get the trash picked up. We're going to do an audit of the school budget to find out where that money went. We're going to hold the superintendent accountable for creating a measurable and achievable plan to get our schools back open and on track in a timely manner. We're going to do a salary review. We're going to increase the salaries of the lowest paid city employees. And last, but certainly not least, we are going to have a meeting with the Commissioner of Police, and we are going to direct him to implement a 30-day decisive plan to turn around crime in the city of Baltimore without excuses. Baltimore City cannot survive or thrive without bold and decisive leadership. My name is Pastor Shannon Wright. With your support and your vote, the next mayor of Baltimore City.
Welcome back to the Don McKay Show, of course, here on Radio on Fire. That was the Republican candidate for mayor of Baltimore City, and that was one of her ads. We've had a chance to speak with Shannon Wright on the program on several occasions, and I think that she's making a very good run for it. However, this is a Democratic city, Democratic leaning, and a lot of Republicans have attempted to use that very fact as fuel for trying something different. It is what I call the Donald Trump theory. What do you have to lose? And people are going to be able to let their voices be heard on that issue. What you think about that, whether you should. I don't think that it's a party thing, though. I don't think that it's a party thing. I think that it is a politician thing. And the fact that many of the politicians that have been in City Hall, the fact that they have been Democrats, that alone is not the reason that the city is in the situation that it's in. It's definitely been about accountability and the failure to hold people accountable. It's been a lot of passing of the buck a lot of times. And some of the rules need to be changed. This is true, but that doesn't mean that we need to have Republican policies come in here and just shake things in that way. The gentrification that Republican policies bring is numbing. And this is just going to come. Gentrification is something that's happened under leadership of Democrats and Republicans. That part is really something that affects poorer people. And that's something we need to talk about and address. But running for mayor in Baltimore, you have Shannon Wright. We just played an ad from her. You have the independent named Bob Wallace. And we've had a chance to speak with Bob Wallace on the program in the past. And Bob Wallace seems like a nice guy. TJ Smith, another friend of the show, working with his campaign, seems like a nice guy. But does he have the right strategies to help this city? Electing one person is not going to change anything significantly in this city. It's got to be a movement, a series of people and a mindset, and some laws have to change, right? Some laws have to change. We can't just get one person out and then other people come in doing the same stuff, right? So there has to be a mindset change. If we get Republicans in and they do the same thing that bad Democrats have done, that's not going to change anything either. So a lot of people just think you just shuffle the deck and anything, any change is just going to be a change, but it's just going to be a change in person, but not a change in policy. That's not a change. That's not a change. Anyway, independent Bob Wallace is running for mayor in Baltimore. And I tell people down ballot, it's super important. Let's take a look at Bob Wallace.
I was one of 5 boys growing up in Baltimore with parents who did all that they could to protect us from the dangers in our neighborhood. I learned early on not to let circumstances define me. Unfortunately, today's Baltimore presents challenges for our black sons and daughters. Being married to my college sweetheart for 42 years and blessed with 5 children and 8 grandchildren, I know the feeling when they say, "Dad, I'll be right back." I'm Bob Wallace, and we must change what we aren't willing to accept.
Okay. So Bob Wallace was a Republican up until about 15 minutes ago. Okay. But of course, the Republican candidate is Shannon Wright. That was not his way in. He says that he doesn't agree with Trump and Trumpism, and he's running as an independent. I mean, he didn't have another choice, but he's running as an independent. Seems like a nice guy, but we need more than that, right? We need more than that. We need someone with a plan. And what is the plan? Somebody who's been on the inside and feels that they know what's going on and they want to change some things. That is how Brandon Scott is presenting himself. He is someone who's been on the inside of some administrations, working in the city council, obviously, currently president of the city council. Can he make a difference in Baltimore? Time will tell. I have been very critical of Brandon Scott over the years for various policy things, but I have had a chance to talk with him. He has not come on the program as of yet, but I hope that he will sometime soon. But let's take a look at Brandon Scott, who is the Democrat running for mayor of Baltimore. Many people thought that he won because it's usually a foregone conclusion. I think that the race is a little bit tighter this time than in the past. And here he is in the community.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to try it again. I thought this was a celebration. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for that kind introduction. And let me echo something you said at the beginning. Anything worth having ain't going to be easy. If someone tries to give me something, I give it back because I know something's wrong with it. And today, I wanted to stop by to thank Dr. Gaynors, everyone at Family Recovery, and everyone here today for seeing what we need in Baltimore. Baltimore is a city with unlimited potential, but has for far too long ignored its greatest resource, and that's its people. And what you guys do each and every day at Family Recovery, and what you will do here at Sage 2 at Monarch View, is helping to rebuild families step by step.
Yes.
And I often tell folks, when you think about me being in the position that I'm in today, and God willing in a few months, and you compare me to my friends growing up in Park Heights, there's one thing that separates us. Well, two. One is I went to Roland Park for middle school. They went to Green Spring. But more importantly, it's home. I came from a stable home, a stable family with people who understood the worth of a family and what a family means. And we were able to grow through our problems together as a family through stable housing. Many of my friends growing up, their families were, like many families in Baltimore, going through things. And there was no family recovery program there to help them grow and heal themselves, not just as individuals, but as families. And that's what we're here celebrating today, the opportunity to do that more and more throughout our city. I look forward to seeing you guys do great work here and beyond as we celebrate today, but also celebrate that this is a new moment for Baltimore. That we will have a new way forward by investing in our most precious resource, and that's our people and our families, to help us create and build the best community and the best city we can be. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the Democratic candidate for mayor of Baltimore. And based on polls that I've seen, it is a foregone conclusion. I think that Bob Wallace, being an independent candidate, he made a good run for it. And he got in, I guess a little late, but he made a respectable run. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a Brandon Scott victory, no doubt. No doubt. But I think that it's good that we've had some candidates come in and push the envelope a little bit. And but at the end of the day, the mayoral candidate, Brandon Scott, has started to put in place his transition team. And so it's it's just a matter of time. We're less than 2 weeks away, and we'll definitely know the results of the Baltimore City mayor's race on that day. I don't think that that's something that is going to carry over too far. It's not like it's going to be, it, that's not going to be something that we find out late, like the president race. We're going to know that day. And so, very interesting, very interesting. But I like to tell people voting is a serious thing. I don't want people leaving spots empty. You have a sample ballot. You understand how it works, and everything that is involved in the vote. Okay, so the ballot is going to look like this. This is just a sample, right? This is just a sample, right? So many people have gotten this in the mail. Sample questions. It's not hard. It does involve you doing a little research. But I definitely encourage people to take a look at it. You're going to see things, circuit court. There's some amendments that are on here, ordinances, etc., etc. So don't be afraid of that. Take your time with this. But the down ballot candidates are important. Down ballot candidates are important. Your congressional candidates are important. All of these things important. Don't leave anything blank. Don't not fill in anything. I want you to, no matter where you are living, this general election is super important. If you do not participate, how can you complain about what we get? How can you complain about the results? How can you complain about what's happening in your city if you don't participate? How? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. Your vote, every vote is important. Every vote matters. Every vote counts. Every vote. So don't let people tell you otherwise. Don't let these bots online, these people that are in comment sections on social media trying to pull you in any direction. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do that to you. Of course, just tuning in, it's the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire, at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Of course, I will be back tomorrow with the pre-debate, final debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Before we get out of here, though, I definitely want to talk about this. A judge has dismissed Michael Jackson accusers' revived lawsuit. If you remember, one of his accusers tried to revive a 2014 lawsuit against Michael Jackson, MJJ Productions, and MJJ Ventures. And after Gavin Newsom, who was the governor of California, extended the statute of limitations for alleged victims. However, the judge has dismissed the lawsuit due to lack of evidence. James Safechuck is the alleged victim, and he sued these companies claiming that he was abused by Michael Jackson as a child on set. You remember the Leaving Neverland debacle. He was the subject of that. He argued that MJJ Productions, MJJ Ventures, Inc. should have monitored Michael Jackson's behavior and protected him. But of course, Safe Chuck, he's just talking, right? Where's your evidence, fam? The judge argued that Michael Jackson was the owner and sole shareholder of both companies, so none of the employees had any power to do anything, right? Supervising Michael Jackson. The cook's going to supervise Michael Jackson, tell him not to do something. Bubbles. Well, Bubbles going to tell MJ not to do something, allegedly, because I don't believe this crap. The judge also determined that Safe Chuck presented no new evidence, no new facts, and dismissed the case. So that should be that. But it isn't. Of course, his attorney, Safe Chuck's attorney, claims that they're going to go back to court on an appeal, and they still plan on winning this thing, as he said. So Michael Jackson still getting sued in his death, years after his death. It's a sad state of affairs. I mean, he doesn't have any evidence, right? He's just talking. And I think that he's been going on with this lie so long that he believes it himself now. They gave him a little documentary. He done spent that money. Now he's trying to come up with something else. Well, Mr. Safe Chuck, no go for you. Of course, advertise with Radio on Fire. You can connect your message with our engaged audience of over 350,000 listeners and viewers per month. RadioonFire.com/advertise is where you go. Of course, follow the Diamond K Show on Spotify or your favorite podcast network. New programs drop daily. RadioonFire.com, thediamondkshow.com. You can always support the program via Cash App, and that is $DJ Diamond K. Of course, your donations help us continue to do what we do here on the program. That's to bring you independent news, progressive opinion on politics, social issues, and entertainment. For booking or media requests, contact me, DJ Diamond K at gmail.com. Until next time, if you see it, then you can be it. It is all about having vision. And I'll be back tomorrow for the pre-show of the final presidential debate. Looking forward to that. That is going to be something else. See you guys tomorrow.